Hi guys, and welcome back to the Ricky2ra Podcast, episode 18. I've run out of fingers now, I can only go up to 10. But yeah, we're on 18 episodes. Are you guys liking this format that I'm doing? As you can probably see by the title, I'm talking about a few different topics again. Something that I've just been a bit curious about. I know this is the second time that I've only done this. I'm talking about probably 3 to 4 different things in this episode, but I'm talking about in a short period of time rather than one big chunk. If you want to let me know whether you like me just talking about one specific thing, or if you like this change up and feel like you listen more to different things in one episode, let me know, because that would be a great help. But for now, personally for me, I'm kind of having more fun with this new kind of layout where I'm talking about different things. But do let me know as well, because I want to do things that you guys like. So if you prefer me talking about one specific thing, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to continue for now with this format. And if I feel like I really need to talk about something a bit more in depth, I'd probably narrow it down to one or maybe 2 things to talk about. But if it really is in depth, it'll probably be like just one for now that I'll be talking about. But yeah, I haven't been up to much recently. It's been really nice weather actually here in the UK. We've had a good 3 to 4 days of sun, which is a bit unusual. But yeah, today looks a bit, well, not cloudy, but you know the clouds are out, so you know it's going to throw it down at one point. That's basically what I'm trying to say. But I hope you guys have been well. I hope you guys are all keeping safe. Yeah, it's still a little bit weird out there at the moment because you got to wear a mask basically everywhere you go, and it's been very difficult for me behind the counter in the shop trying to understand people as well. You know, when they're trying to ask for like a packet of cigarettes and stuff, I have no idea what they're saying. Just imagine that with like a perspex sheet in front of us as well, so it makes it even more difficult to hear. But hey, you've got to adapt to the situation and we'll all get used to it eventually. So yeah, there's 4 things I want to talk about in this episode. So just to give an outline of what each topic is. So the first one I'm talking about is dealing with the nose. Second one is Netflix episode that I've been watching that I did mention in the last episode. I finished it, so I'm going to give my I'm going to give like a review of what I thought about that. The third one is about the boxer David Haye, about how he reposted one of my videos back in the day. And for the fourth one, it was me on a break, okay? I'm not going to edit in the Friends video clip on YouTube, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I was on a break just for a couple of days, but I'll talk about that right at the end. So yeah, let's get right into the first topic. So, dealing with the nose. Ricky, what are you talking about dealing with the nose? So if you guys have just tuned in, if this is like your first time listening to me, if this is just like the one that you just so happen to click on, I'm a magician. I'm a close-up magician, card magician. I do events and stuff. Obviously with this all going on, I've done no events so far, but I'm talking about dealing with the nose when I'm performing magic. So some people may think like for magicians, I'm just talking about magicians here, but this applies to everyone, like performers and stuff like that. But yeah, people think like magicians, like when they see a video, like everything's gone perfect. Like, you've shown somebody a magic effect and they've reacted amazing, and yeah, job's a good one. And because you're watching that just one video of a certain magician, in your mind you instantly think that that's just happened straight away. It's gone up to this person, he or she has gone up to this person, shown them a magic effect, the reaction was amazing, and that was it, walked away, video done. Like, that could have been in your mind, like that could have just happened in 5 minutes. But really the reality is it can take like hours or days, just because you're asking different people if you want to see a magic effect, and most of the time people are going to say no, just because they don't want to see a magic trick. And I'm talking, sorry, I didn't make this clear, I'm talking about street magic just for now. So this is where like magicians go up to people and ask them to see a magic trick. So yeah, it's kind of like, do you know them people that you see like on the street, like in town or something, handing out flyers and like, oh, do you want to join this service, this service? And you're just like, no, I'm in a rush. That's basically like how we feel as magicians, where you want to show somebody a magic trick, and then you're just like, no, which is, you have every right to say no, because it's us that want to show you something, and if you're willing to do it and participate, then that's just step one done. Okay, now pulling off the magic effect and getting a great reaction, you can control what you do with the magic effect, but you can't control somebody's reaction, because you don't really know that person. You can have like a slight judgment of like maybe how they're going to react, but it's kind of like step 2 is pulling the magic effect off, and the final step 3 is getting that reaction. Now everybody's reaction is different, but getting the right reaction, then getting that for video, it takes hours. So dealing with the no's, people just saying, oh, do you want to see a magic effect? No, I'm good. No, I'm in a rush. Yeah, that's basically what we go through as magicians, and that wasn't the main one. I just wanted to get that one out of the way. Now personally for me, when I'm performing at events, I've got, say, people have said no to me quite a lot of times, just because they're not into magic, and that's 100% fine. But I feel like I need to ask whoever's at the table, whoever I'm going up to, would they like to see some magic, to the group first. And because I'm being booked there, by the way, so I've been booked to perform somewhere, so I know I've got to perform magic to everybody, but sometimes I just like to ask, because I don't want somebody to feel forced in a way that I'm showing them something and they don't really enjoy it, and then they won't like me even more. So that's kind of like why I ask as well. So yeah, it was, I've got a funny story. Well, it's not funny, but you've heard this story before in probably my last episode or the one before the last. I can't even remember the name now. Confidence in Magic, I'm sure it was that episode. And so it was in 2014, Monica and Kamal's wedding, and I told you guys how like I built my confidence up and I started showing magic to everybody there. What I didn't tell you was the first person I actually had the courage to get up and show, the first person out of everybody that was there, and it was a bodyguard, I think, at the door or something like that. Or he was just like, what's that word? He was like surveilling the area, if that makes sense. So I asked him, so I got up, imagine like this was me, like 2014 Ricky, hasn't shown magic to strangers like properly, has the courage finally to build himself up, and goes and walks to this guy and says, can I show you some magic? And the guy looks at me and says, no. And he just walks off, and I won't remember that. I'll never forget that, because it actually built my confidence up even more, to show everybody else after that. So I went straight to somebody else, and in my mind I thought, oh, he was just doing his job, he probably wants to, like, you know, see what's going on, do his job around the whatever, the wedding hall. But I did it to another guard that night, and he liked it, and he said, yeah, show me. And then it was so funny because I was showing magic to a group of people, and then that guy that said no, he actually walked over to see what I was doing, and he probably wanted to join in as well after. But that's going a little bit off topic. But what I'm trying to say is that when people say no, for me, I don't take it to heart. I just move on and go to the next person. So whether that be at an event where I'm like, oh, can I show you some magic? And they're like, no, I'm okay. I just normally go, no, that's fine. You have a great evening. And then I move on to the next person. If it's somebody at a table, like a group of people at a table, most likely they will all watch it and participate. But sometimes you get the odd person that doesn't want to participate, which is 100% fine because they're watching everybody else's reactions, which is entertaining in itself. So yeah, basically dealing with no is don't take it to heart and just move on, basically. Don't think about it too much, just take it and go, like take that rejection and just move on and like use that energy. Sometimes I get like a bit more hyped up. You can say when somebody says no because it's not like they have to say yes, but I kind of just say have a nice evening, and then I kind of like, for me personally, I just work even harder for the next group of people so they enjoy it even more. Nothing to do with the person that said no, it's just that stuff like that builds me up, like my confidence makes me want to like work even harder for some reason. That's just how I am. So I've done that in the past as well, where I just like do magic and somebody says no and said no, that's fine, have a great night, and then I move on to the next one and I just do something that blows them away, and the reactions are just amazing. It's just something that I've developed over the years for that. Yeah, what have I written here? I said it makes it more easier the more times people say no. So the more times you basically get rejected, the more you get used to it. That's what I'm trying to say here. And that's basically it. If you're a performer, magician, whatever you are, obviously the first one will kind of like hurt a little bit because you're eager to show somebody something, and you can get it can be a real reducing confidence, reduce your confidence if somebody says no and you don't really want to do anything after that. Luckily for me, when somebody says no, it's not a really big heartbreaker. Like that first time when I mentioned to you when I showed that bodyguard, I was let down, but I kind of like used the momentum I had to build on that and go to someone else, because I could have easily just sat back down and done nothing and just like had my mains and desserts and gone home. So yeah, don't get let down when people say no. Just pick yourself up and move on to the next person. And that is dealing with the no's. Now, magic aside, let's hop on to Netflix again. I know I said this in the last episode. I was watching a Netflix series called How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. And if you've just tuned in and you're listening to this and you're thinking, what the hell have you been watching, Ricky? It's not what you think. I'm not looking at how to sell drugs online fast. So this is a German TV series, but it's dubbed in English. And for all those people out there that are not 100% sure, like when I say that and you're like, oh, I'm not going to watch that because, it's dubbed in English. Trust me, I had no problem with it. Like I did all the settings and stuff to try and see if it made a difference if I did it in like any other format of English and stuff, and it was perfect once I just left it normal. Everything was fine. The different characters have all English voices, but anyway, beside that, I finished the whole 2 seasons. Bearing in mind, this is an ongoing series, so season 3 will be out soon, I hope. But yeah, it's I've written on my notes, talk to the people. So I'm going to talk to you guys about it. I've got no notes really on this because I want to just share a little bit of why I really, really love this TV series. And it was like the trailer that kind of got it off for me, because it was kind of like a modern TV show where everybody's using online stuff. So that's what's kind of like hooked me in. So yeah, anyway, I'm not really good at like explaining stories on like TV shows and stuff, because I'll probably end up just ruining it. So I just recommend watching it. But from seasons 1 and 2, I literally clocked it in 2 days. I know I said I was on like an episode and a half last week, but I was kind of like busy, so I was kind of like pausing and resuming in between my day. But I kind of like just got it all sorted on Sunday and Monday, and it was amazing. So I definitely recommend it. It's quite funny as well. It's got comedy in it, and you will get it straight away because it's all in English, dubbed in English. So you get it straight away, like some of the comedy and stuff, and the character development in the series. Like, you get to know nearly every character in there and how that character builds throughout each episode and each season. So, and you know, like in every TV program, it leaves you like on a cliffhanger or some sort of climax, and this program does this as well, and it just makes you want to break your keyboard because you want to watch the next season. And they are currently filming the next season for season 3, so I really do hope that it comes up on Netflix and I will binge watch that. For those that are probably thinking, oh, is it like a long program? Is each episode like an hour long? It's not. I think it's about 35 minutes an episode, so you breeze through it. Like 2 episodes are basically an hour, so you breeze through it. And I think there's only like 6 episodes, if I can remember, of each season, so it is quite short. But I don't know if they were looking for success straight away in that show, because it is a Netflix original, but they blew it away. Like, it was amazing. And it must have done well to get a second season, which it has done well. So I definitely recommend that. The name of it, again, was How to Sell Drugs Online Fast. Yeah, it's a nerdy / like action program. Like I said, I'm not good at like doing reviews and stuff of TV programs because I'll end up ruining it. Just watch it, okay? It's only 30 minutes an episode, so make sure you catch it. I'd recommend it. I cannot wait for season 3. I get so invested in it, and that's the thing that I really hate, that everybody has to go through. Like, when you finish a season and that series is still running, and you just you're just looking at like your computer, like when there's an update of like when they're filming, when's like a date for like the next season. That's basically how I am right now, because I really want to watch the next season, but obviously they're still filming it. Because stuff with like Friends and The Office US, which are like one of my favourites, that had all finished. So when I did my rerun, I just clocked all 10 episodes straight away, and there was not to worry about like waiting for the next season, the next episode. So yeah, this has kind of like got me on my toes, really, just waiting for that next season. But that was like a quick Netflix review and promotion basically for that series as well. So yeah, that's with that, and I'm gonna get in to this story, okay? And it's something that I thought of yesterday. Actually, it popped up in my mind because I wrote a note for it about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think, when I was planning a few other episodes, because I still have some ideas left. And I was just getting ideas for this episode, and I wanted to do it in like the 3 to 4 topic format. And I never really talked about this. I've talked about social media magic, but this particular story I've never talked about. And it's David Haye liking one of my magic Instagram videos and reposting it on his Instagram page. So this was January 2016. Yes, that's right, I'm back with the dates. So yeah, January 2016, David Haye was promoting his return into the ring. So it was called Haye Day, and he was getting a countdown, I think like a 30-day countdown, and for each day he was reposting people that promoted his countdown and the hashtag Haye Day. So I think it was about 13 days left, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do something with a pack of cards to promote it, because back then I was still doing stuff with like lyrics and stuff, making them change, which I've talked about in previous videos. So, and bearing in mind, this wasn't a professional video. This was like me starting out still with like testing out like changing lyrics on cards and stuff. So I literally filmed it over there in my room, and you know what, I was looking back on it now, I'm so happy that he reposted it, because he didn't have to. It was literally in my room. The camera was literally on my cupboard. No, I had a tripod then. It was on the tripod, but my tripod was on my cupboard, and it was so unprofessional. It was like my t-shirt, like I had like a t-shirt from like the day before thrown on the floor. You could see like my jogging bottoms, and you could see like my cards, and I waved the cards. The cards were blank. I waved the cards, and it said 13 days till Haye Day, and I did the hashtag Haye Day as well. But if you just looked at like the magic that was created in that video, fair enough, like it did its job, and I'm sure it entertained people on his Instagram page as well. That's the reason why he reposted it. But it's just me criticising all my videos. It's me just beating myself up for that. But anyway, it must have been good if David Haye reposted it. So when I got the first like on my Instagram, when I see who liked the video, and it said Mr. David Haye, and I was like, what? And I clicked on it, and it was actually him. It went straight to his profile. So I was gassed. I was going crazy. I was like, oh my god, David Haye liked my Instagram video. I can't believe it. And the next thing you know, I get another notification saying David Haye has reshared or reposted your video. And I went onto his profile, and there it was. My video was on his Instagram page, and it had my name under it, and it said repost by Ricky2ra and 13 days until Haye Day. And I was going nuts, man. I was going crazy, and I kept getting like likes on my Instagram page for people that had gone, like his fans that had gone onto my page and liked it as well. Because I'd never done anything like that before. I don't think the Lethal Bizzle one he had liked that yet, I think. I could be wrong, but getting somebody like a celebrity boxer like David Haye to like that, and then getting fans to like my video as well, was it was quite a cool first experience. I'm sure it was the first experience for me, and yeah, it was really nice of him to repost that as well. I think I did it again for his next one, but I didn't get chosen. I made like a card levitate, and I made it a bit more professional. But it just goes to show you that, you know, your quality of your content, it might look bad for the person that's creating it. Like, I think that video was bad, but from somebody else's point of view, it might look like really good. So what I'm saying is, like, your quality, you don't really know the quality of your work until you show somebody else. Because I heavily criticise my past work, as you guys can probably tell, from me saying, like, you know, I could have improved here and there. That's just me, and I'm trying to get over that, because that video is just done and dusted. But it's basically just putting it out there, and that's basically what I'm trying to improve on now, and what I've been doing recently with a few magic videos here and there as well. I'm not trying to criticise that, and I'm just putting it out there for the world to see whether it's good or bad. I feel like that should be in your guys' hands instead of mine. So like you probably can tell now that I've just been criticising like really past videos, but if you look at videos that I'm creating now, I'm not really saying that about them. Hopefully in the future I won't be saying that about them anyway. But yeah, that was the David Haye story, okay? And we are on 25 minutes. Wow, I've been talking quite a bit. So we're going to wrap up in about 5 minutes. I just wanted to briefly talk about this. So I'm going to give it about a minute or two to talk about. I was on a break for about 2 days. I was getting a bit overworked with content creation because I've been trying to create content every single day on every single platform, as you can tell. So I took a couple of days off. I caught up with like my Netflix shows, like I've talked about before. I was just chilling basically after I was still working in the shop, but I was just chilling after that. So it was a nice refresh. So that's why I'm back, and this is like the first proper video I've done since my couple of days off from content creation. So I feel like nice and relaxed and refreshed, and as you can tell I've kind of planned this episode as well, so I've had time to do that, where I was like behind schedule and everywhere last week as well. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about for that. And yeah, it's just something with myself where, you know, I just really want to work and keep working, but at some point you do need a break, and I actually had to accept that with myself, and I finally did. I just had a couple of days off from content creation, and it was like the best thing ever. So yeah, that's basically what I wanted to talk about for that. And we're going to wrap up. So I've talked about the format, whether you guys prefer this format or the single format, let me know. A quick update on Apple Podcasts. I do not know what's going on with my last episode. It's not on Apple Podcasts. I've had a look on the Anchor website, which I'm distributing all this through. It's going to take a couple of weeks, they said, whether it's not come on yet or not. So what I'm going to do is, after I publish this episode, if this episode goes onto Apple Podcasts, then obviously something's happened with my last episode, so I'm going to contact Anchor about that. So I apologise to the Apple Podcast listeners that you could not listen to my last episode on there. Quick shout outs. I'm going to go through this really quickly because I want to keep this under 30 minutes. I didn't realise I was rambling too long. Shout outs to everybody from all the countries that have been watching this. I've recently looked at my Anchor and seen like the data of a few countries that have been listening. So I'm going to shout out, obviously, my country, the UK. So we've got Leeds, Rotherham, I'm going to really get this wrong, Prudhoe, Bedford and Greenwich. You guys have all been listening to me. For the US, Ohio, Washington and Oregon. I hope I said that right. Shout outs to you guys in the US. Shout outs to someone in Ireland. Is it Leinster? I hope I got that right. I'm really sorry if I got it wrong. And in Germany as well. Shout outs to you, the person in Germany. I do not know if I'm going to get this right. It's called Thuringia. I'm really sorry if I butchered that. But shout outs to whoever you are in Germany for listening as well. And just shout outs to all of you in general, all the Spotify, Apple Podcast listeners, people that are listening on Anchor, people that are watching on YouTube. I really appreciate you as well. I apologise if this was a really long episode. I did not realise I rambled on for that long. But yeah, make sure you guys like the episode, share the episode, let a friend know, if this is quite interesting. Rate the episode as well if you guys can rate it on Apple Podcasts. And I will see you guys next week. And we're so close from episode 20 as well, so I'm going to have to think what I'm going to do for that. So in the meantime, have a great day or night wherever you are.